All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. We're excited to have the opportunity to present our courseware. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let's see here. We all use so many platforms. I have to remember how to share my screen on this one. Um, Chrissy, what am I doing here? Let's see. Oh, here we go. Share screen.
Oop, I'm sorry, I
Okay.
was muted. Do you see it? It's on the bottom.
Yeah. Can everyone see my screen?
Yep, that looks
Yep.
good.
Perfect. Okay. So we're More Solutions, and we develop some of the coolest curriculum that you'll come across if you're looking to prepare your students for Microsoft Office or Adobe courses and even industry certifications. So let me take you through our learning management system, give you a little bit of an idea of some of the cool stuff that it has. First, our platform is a turnkey solution. So we track your participants, their grades, we give you teacher resources, and we have a digital textbook that's embedded and chunked before it's going to be needed before each lesson. So you really you don't have to come up with any extra stuff to teach the course or prepare the students for an industry cert if that's where you're going. But you do have the opportunity to add stuff to the courseware because every course we build is a custom instance of the course that's just for you and your students. So we don't just put you into some big hodgepodge mega course and then just break you out a section. Our team actually builds you out a custom instance of the course. That's why we brand it for you. So you can have your school logo or your name or a picture of you, whatever you want, or the district logo. So I'll start to kind of take you through the homepage. You can see how many students you have enrolled, in progress, you have to start, what courseware. I'm going to use PowerPoint for the purposes of this presentation, and then I'll ask Sean to show you Adobe. He's our Adobe guru. Um, as a teacher, we give you your teacher resources that are right here and easy to get to. So we give you student enrollment keys, so your students can actually self-enroll. So when you click the student self-enrollment, your student enrollment keys will be right here, where you can just hand those to the students, however you get information to them, and then they can very quickly uh, register themselves in the class. And we even break it out by period. So we make sure that the students in the right period. So when you go to do your grade reports, everything is very easily pulled down and then can be uploaded into your district or institution's grade book. We have a knowledge base so that you can learn everything you wanted to know about our courseware, but we're afraid to ask. We have it searchable. So if you need a pacing guide or you need a refresher on how do students self-enroll or how to reconfigure your grade book, anything you need is in our knowledge base. And then we also have a ticketing system. So if for any reason uh, you have an issue, you need help, just click support desk, a little ticketing icon pops up, fill it out, send it in, and somebody will get back to you usually within 5-10 minutes. And you also have a phone call, a phone number and a team member's name if you need immediate assistance. So that's kind of how the homepage is laid out. Then every chapter, and I'll go over the scaffold, we think it's pretty well laid out. That digital textbook, we start off with the learning objectives for each chapter. Then we have a topic, which are the actual textbook pages, those chunk pages I mentioned before. Then we have a practice and a quiz. And then it repeats itself. And it goes on like that until you get to the end of the chapter where there is a project that the student has to complete. Okay. Your grade book, you will actually see the students' names, all of the grades for the entire course. And again, you can export those grades, so they can be imported into your district grade book. Grading is a big deal. I mean, parents want to know how their student is doing. Students want to know how they're doing. They want to know that the grading isn't arbitrary. They want to be able to know where they stand in the course. So we know grading is a big deal. So that's the broad strokes. Let me take you through one of our lessons. So the way the student navigates through our courses, oh, and I just want to point out, our courseware is designed to make sure we address all 4 learning styles. Audio learners, visual learners, reading and writing learners, and kinesthetic for our hands-on users, which kinesthetic or hands-on is the majority of the learners. So we make sure our courses are very hands-on. So even though there's written material, there's a lot of exercises where the student is actually getting in there, moving around, getting a grade, and our courses offer immediate feedback, which is a huge deal. So chapter 1 learning objectives. This is the chapter 1 page from the embedded textbook. We say what exam objectives we're covering, key terms, which as a teacher, you can use as vocabulary if you like. Once the student looks at that, they click next to move on. And then we start out with the interior pages. So for the students that like to read, or if you want to insist that they read the material to make sure they have a good understanding of it, that's where this takes place in these pages. Now, we know that reading is passive, so we have an optional reading comprehension piece that we put in, which is just a drag and drop to make sure that the student read the material. Once the student is done with that, they come across a practice. Now, for the first practice, this one only lives in a simulated environment, and this is probably a good time for me to mention. We have in-application activities, and we have simulated activities. Simulated activities are great if the student does not have the software on their computer. They can actually practice the whole thing. They can practice PowerPoint without having PowerPoint installed, okay? I'm gonna do one of these simulations in a minute, but I just wanted to show you how they're laid out. There's a video that shows the student what's gonna take place in the simulation, which I just maximized that by just clicking it.
Presentations
I
item.
can make it smaller.
Select.
And basically, this is your audio and visual learners are going to be well taken care of. Okay, let me turn this phone down. Okay. And now, after they do the practice, they have the opportunity to do a quiz. The quiz is the same thing as the practice, except it doesn't have step-by-step instructions. And I'm going to show you those on one of the other activities that have more information. So after they do the hands-on stuff, now they're back in to the textbook pages. Okay. Now, this lesson has both in-app or in PowerPoint and simulation. So if the student has PowerPoint on their computer, they can actually practice this lesson inside of PowerPoint. Let me show you what I mean by that. So these toggles open up so they can download a start file. It'll open up in PowerPoint with the instructions. If the student doesn't have PowerPoint, or if they're working from home, or God willing, this pandemic is winding down, if they're back in the classroom and they have PowerPoint on their computers, again, they can just work in that. But if they don't, if they click the simulation, it shows them again, here's a little video and a simulation that can be opened. So let me open up the simulation and I'll show you what that looks like. So when they click the simulation, it's going to open up something that looks like PowerPoint, but it's not PowerPoint. We have a dynamic window, the only ones in the industry that have this, and the student can just start working through. So first, select view, okay? Select the slide master. And no, I'm not going to go through this whole thing. It would be so boring to watch me do that. But let's say if I'm not, now I've already watched the video and I've read the textbook pages, but let's say I'm still not sure where to click. If I'm in a simulation and I click wrong, I get an incorrect. If I click wrong again, I get an incorrect. And then the third time, it highlights in green where I should click. Okay, so the student could actually just Christmas tree this. Sean always laughs when I use that term. I'm showing my age. Christmas tree and just kind of click in anywhere until I get it right. And as I just go through this, I'm only going to do this so I can show you what happened. So I wasn't paying attention. I just clicked through at top speed. I get a continue at the end, and my grade is a 40 because I really wasn't doing it. Okay, so once I close the simulation, it's going to take me right back to the LMS. Now, here's the really cool thing. We're the only ones that have this, so I'm about to show you. So I hope you're sitting down. If you're not sitting down, you better sit down because it's pretty cool. I'm going to actually do this activity in PowerPoint. Now watch this. I click to download the file, and then it's going to actually open up a PowerPoint file. I'm going to enable it. And look at this MSI icon. We have an add-in inside of the Microsoft Office and Adobe applications. And it actually gives me the step-by-steps, just like in the simulation, except working live in the software. But wait, there's more. Let's say if I'm not sure where the View tab is, I click this and it opens up a little step-by-step video of just that. You're on mute, so I can't hear the oohs and ahs, but I'm guessing they're there.
Ooh.
And we have, thank you, Sean. But this is an MSI invention, and it's great because the student doesn't have to watch a whole video. They can just watch the little bits of what they need to do. Now, this one I'm going to do for you quick because I want to show how the validations work. So in this one, I have to insert a layout in the slide master, okay? So I have to click the View tab. And again, I'm working live in the software. Then select Slide Master, okay? In the Edit Master subgroup, select the Insert Layout. Ooh, let me see how to do that. Oh, okay, there you go. So I go Insert Layout, and in the Edit Master group, select Insert a Placeholder drop down. So here's an Insert Placeholder, and I have to put in a picture, okay? Now, again, I'm live in the software, so I'm actually able to do this right inside PowerPoint, okay? So I just put in the picture placeholder, and now select the Slide Master from the ribbon, okay? And in the Edit subgroup, select Insert Place, okay. And then I have to select the Slide Master again, insert a layout, and this time I'm inserting a text box. Okay. Accept all of the defaults, and then I have to right-click on the slide in the panel and then rename it. And I'm going to rename it My Custom Layout. So I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to copy and paste. But if I'm not sure how to rename it, again, I can just kind of watch that video. Look at that, rename.
Ooh.
Yeah. So let me go to it. I'm going to go right mouse click. I'm going to say rename. And I'm going to click rename. Okay. And now I'm going to close the slide master. And now I'm going to check my work. Now I did a lot of steps here. So if I did it right, these should turn green. So let's click check my work. So this is actually going through the software and making sure everything was done correctly. It takes about 5 or 10 seconds, but it does give the student real-time feedback. I did everything correct. Look at that. Now, I have to stress this. This isn't some kind of comparison technology where it's looking at two documents. This is actually going inside the software and checking the work. More Solutions is the only one that has this. And Studica is a great channel partner to help us bring it to you. When I click continue, I'm going to close it. Okay. I'm not going to save it, and it takes me right back to the LMS. So now you've seen how I can do it in a simulation if I don't have the software. I can do it in PowerPoint if I do have the software. And the grading system takes the grade of the highest grade of the two. Last thing I'll show you, because if you're interested in industry certifications, If you do the quizzes, we actually have a built-in timer. And I'll show you what I mean by that. Because we want the students, and even if we're just going for college and career ready, we want to make sure that they know where to find this stuff without hunting around, okay? So again, it tells you exactly the same things that I have to do, but without the step-by-step instructions. I'm not going to make you watch me do it again, okay? If you are interested in certification, we also have our MorePass product, which MorePass is an industry exam prep product, which again, you can talk to student about how to get a sample of that. And in this one, you can practice, you can do a quiz. If you do a quiz, it's very similar to how the curriculum works, except it does have a timer. So it times how long each lesson takes. And this helps the students really hone their skills. Okay, so that's basically how our curriculum works. And it goes through, I think PowerPoint is, I don't have to think, I can tell you, it's 5 chapters. It can be done in app, it can be done in simulation. Once a student goes through this course, 2 goals. 1, they know how to use the software, because in a lot of districts, these certifications articulate to college credits. It generates all the grades you need for the entire grading period. Each course takes about 9 weeks. And we also prepare the student for the industry certification exam if they want to go to the certification level. We are so proud of this. I've worked here for 25 years, and I just wake up every day grateful that we have come up with something that our years and years of experience and labor has produced this lovely product, in my opinion. So that's the Microsoft side. And again, same thing for Word and Excel, okay, and test prep. Chris, do you want to hold questions until the end, or does anybody have any questions for me about the Microsoft side before Sean demonstrates Adobe?
I don't see any questions right now, but we can give it a second just to see if anybody has a few. But right now, I don't see any coming in.
Okay. I am going to turn it over to my esteemed colleague, Mr. Sean Kessler, and he's going to take you through how the Adobe product works, which is very similar, but there's a few other neat little things.
Hello, everybody. I'm Sean Kessler. Very nice to be with you all. Can you guys all see my screen? You can holler at me.
I can see it.
All right, beautiful. So I'm going to just do a little sample and drill down. Mr. Moore did an incredible job of showcasing all of the amazing features from our pre-assessments to our learning objectives. I don't need to drill back into that and go back over that. We're just going to check out one little section. It's one of my favorite sections because it's really simple and it gives us a great overview. So we're going to check out topic 2.3c, and we're going to go from 2.3c all the way down to this final page right here. And we'll go together and check it out. So 2.3c is all about working with grids and guides. And as you can see, there's a couple of pages. We've got some vocabulary in here, visuals, lots of cool samples and examples. All of this stuff is going to cover the objectives that were laid out earlier in our chapter. Here, this is the drag and drop Mr. Moore was talking to you guys about. Highly interactive. We can grab these and drag them over. If we did our reading, we should get 100. Let's see how I do. Oh, I did bad on that one.
Christmas
But
tree.
I did a Christmas treat it. So I think you usually get at least one right. So, so we click next activity, and that'll bring us to our next page. Being a bit slow here. Give me a second. Reload that. We are experiencing some technical difficulties. We need one of those technical difficulty screens we can put up.
Like a kitten hanging on. Hang on.
Oh, I like the kitten.
The kitten, the hang on kitten. I love it. Oh, this is just not wanting to do it. Let me see if I can reload. Mr. Moore, how's your Wi-Fi working over there?
You know, we have Comcast and we've had some
Yeah,
difficulties in the building today.
here we go. Looks like we're working now. Apologies for the delay. So here's a visual knowledge check, and this is our part 2 of 2-3C. This is so much more visual for our learners, and these are images taken right out of the topics, so the students can reinforce some of that scaffolded learning. And this is where we get to the meat and potatoes. We were talking about these traditional simulations. We need absolutely no software except our computer to be able to do this. Mr. Moore's already done an amazing job showing you that in the preview video. So I'm just going to jump right into our in-app. So this is our practice in-app for 2-3C. All you have to do is click here to download. I've already done the justice of opening this up here in Photoshop. I call this the baked cake. You know, we've already got it open for you, so you don't have to watch all that. So let's do this lesson together and we'll see how it works and see how we can get a grade. So this is practice 2-3C, working with grids and guides. You've been asked to enable the grid and add some guides to this document for some additional elements the customer will provide later. It sounds very similar to the certification test, and that's because it's aligned exactly to it. This is what we're going to be looking to grade and see if we've done correctly at the end of the assignment. So it says, number 1, select view and rulers to see the rulers. Then right click on the ruler to change the units to pixels. Let's say I'm a student, I have no idea. This is my first time, or maybe I'm a teacher and this is my first time and I don't know what to do. Maybe I'm a teacher and I just want to get a sneak peek of the lesson so I feel more confident in front of my students. We click hint and we've got a very nice preview of how to do that. So it says, we just right click on that after clicking view, and we can open up our rulers. So let's see, view, rulers. We right click, we're going to switch from inches to pixels. That's our first step. Number 2, from the menu bar, select view, show, and grid. Well, we were already in view, so that's got to be easy. View, show, and grid. And there's our grid. If I'm not sure I did that right, I might want to take a look at my hint. Beautiful thing. Making sure we're doing okay, step by step. Number 3, from the menu bar, select view, new guide. View, new guide. And it's asking us to do a horizontal. And then for step 5, for position, 75. And we click OK. Now there's our line. Our guide has just come down. And if we check our hint, we can see after we put it in that it's in the correct position. I don't know about you guys, but I am so excited about these incredible GIFs and videos. They are just streamlining this education process, and they're just taking away every ounce of confusion. I think teachers across the whole planet are going to be going, yes, yes, yes. Oh my goodness. I don't have to answer the same question 25 times. I am down. Okay, it says click OK. Number 7, from the menu bar, view new guide. We've already done that. New guide. This time we're going to be making a vertical one. And for step 9, we're going to put 500 pixels. Click OK. We've got our 2 guides, we've got our grid, and we've updated our ruler to pixels. Let's check our final image reference and make sure we've done it correctly so we can do a little comparison. And there's our image, and there's the final one. So I think we did okay. Cross my fingers. Let's click check my work. And as you can see, we got 100%. Now, I love to show off this feature in comparison to simulation, where you've got one pathway. You have to click certain things to achieve your objective. In this case, we could do this completely manually. Let's say you're a student, you're a teacher, you're kind of clever, and you're going, well, I know that there's multiple ways of doing things in Photoshop. Well, there are, and sometimes there's 4 or 5 different ways. We're going to go ahead and show just how easily we can manipulate the software to do these things different ways. So if you're a smart student, you know you can get your guides directly off of the ruler right here. Well, I know that I'd get that wrong because it's not in the correct placement. Notice how I got a 0%. But if I'm smart, I might notice that there's a number on that y-axis and that it's telling me, oh, well, I need to put the y-axis at 75. Let's put it at 75 and drop it. Let's check our work. I just got credit for placing that in a completely live environment. Now, if I move that off, reset this. It's actually, we've actually set it so that they've got a little bit of a grace in case they're really close. But how cool is that we can get a correct answer from that? And let's pull one off of here. Let's bring it to the 500 mark and click OK. And we've gotten our 100%. It's one of the coolest features is that they're getting that in-app experience, the live experience, which they're going to have on the exam ultimately. And as Mr. Moore said, if they were to do a simulation as well as this in-app, the gradebook will automatically take the highest grade, which is another one of those exceptional features. So if your teacher wants to take the full advantage of everything MSI K-12 offers, have your students do them all if you have the ability to have them on the software. Mr. Moore, did I leave anything out?
No, that was great. Thank you so much. And I really appreciate you making a point that just like in the live software, there's a lot of different ways to do things in Adobe. There's a lot of different ways to do things in Microsoft. And the in-app gives the student and the teacher the freedom to do it anyway, as long as they can get it done. Now, in the instructions, we're telling you the most expedient way, because if you are going to certification route, it's time. And if we're just looking to make the student college and career ready, and they're working in a job, they want to be able to do it the most efficient way. But if a student likes keyboard shortcuts or whatever, as long as they get it done correctly, they'll get the points. Thank you so much, Sean. Great presentation. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
So that's basically our presentation. That's what we do. That's what we have to offer. We offer world-class customer service. If you have a problem, if you need help with something, you will be able to speak to a live person. I have refused to put a phone tree in here. You will get your call answered by a live person, and we will help you. If you call during the middle of a school day, you're not calling me to wish me a happy day. You're calling because you need a problem solved. Sean is fresh out of the classroom. He was a St. Lucie County teacher, and he always says how important it is to make sure your customer service is there and you help teachers when they need to be helped, not get back to them at the end of the day. That's not good. So does anybody have any questions for us?
Yeah, I wanted to take a moment to explain how people can request a trial. And if you look on the screen, you can just visit the website, studica.com/More Solutions Inc., or just email us at info@studica.com. And Terrence, would you just mind walking us through the actual, like the Microsoft program and then the Adobe program, just kind of what it includes and how many hours and things like that, just to give people an overview of the actual product offering?
Sure. So the way we develop our courses, each course is roughly a 8 to 9 week course. So we do offer a pacing guide. And if, individual populations may vary, but as a good rule of thumb, you're looking at an 8 to 9 week course. And we do that so that you can attempt up to 3 industry certifications in one school year. Or if you have other curriculum you're covering, you can do 2 certifications and then cover some other stuff that you may want to cover. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I just wanted to, if you wouldn't mind just going through the products included with the Microsoft Office, and then we can go through the products in the Adobe for the exams.
Okay, yes. So with Microsoft Office, you get Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. And it's laid out, like I said, chapter by chapter. So you get a digital textbook, complete grade book, projects, quizzes, reading comprehension, and you can also download, if you have a student who has an IEP, or if you have a 504 student, you can actually download the textbook chapters and print them out for them if that's needed. And in the knowledge base, you do have a lesson planning template. So you have basically instructor support materials. So lesson planning template, pacing guide, and a scope and sequence. So you get that with Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. And on the Adobe side, you get that with your Adobe product. So if you're doing Photoshop, InDesign, Illustrator, again, pacing guide, instructor support materials, and everything you need to deliver the course. So it's our goal to make sure you have a turnkey solution. Actually, you know what? There is one other thing I want to show you. Let's say if you've been teaching Microsoft Office for years and you have a capstone project that you want to add to your course. I did say that this is your course. This is an instance of your course. So we actually give you the ability to add your own material. So right now, as a teacher, I'm in editing mode. So let's say if I want to add a,
Terrence, are you trying to share your screen? Because I don't see
that would probably help, right?
it. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Can everyone see my screen now?
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Let's try this. How about, oh, hang on. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So what I did is I just went into editing mode, and the way I'll turn it off and then turn it back on. So as a teacher, you have your course. It's all in a package. But let's say, like I said, if you want to add some of your own material, you can actually turn on editing. And then let's say if at the end of chapter 1, I want to add my own project. We actually give you the ability to add a file, a wiki page, a URL. You can have your own quiz. Anything you want, you can actually add. And if you're not sure how to do that, we will train you. And our service is unlimited, unconditional support for the life of the contract. So anything you want to add, if you say, hey, I want my students to write a resume at the end of the Word course, and I have this great resume lesson. We say, okay, how do you have it? Well, I have it in a PDF. Do you have a grading rubric? Yes. Okay. So we're going to show you how to add that PDF, how to add the grading rubric, and then make it available to the students. You also have the ability to lock lessons. So let's say if you don't want the students just to go through the course on their own, you actually can go in and you can hide topics. You can show topics by date. And again, we offer all of this training, no charge. We have a onboarding every day at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and you can log in and just ask questions and work with an expert. Let me turn that off. Okay. Any questions about that?
No, that looks good. Thank you so much.
Okay.
So if anyone does have any questions, feel free to email me at info@studica.com, or you can just respond to the email that I'll send out with the information and the recording. And thank you all for joining us today. Thank you, Terrence, and thank you, Sean.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Stay safe.